Hey guys, Ghost here. So Gamescom concluded a couple of days ago on Friday, and of course we saw nothing out of EA and DICE in terms of Battlefield 2042. Most of us, including myself, were pretty convinced that they would be showing something at Gamescom, and we had reason to believe so. DICE have traditionally featured at the show and usually shown off their new Battlefield game for the year. Gamescom was also the last big gaming event this year before 2042 is due to release, and there is still much left to talk about, including Hazard Zone, not to mention we haven't really seen much more than 2 minutes of actual gameplay, and likely none of that is from the newest build. On top of that, Gamescom had listed EA as one of their participants, and on their website even had Battlefield 2042 listed under their most anticipated games section. So what does this mean for Battlefield? Is the game being delayed, and why haven't we heard anything? Well, I don't believe the game is being delayed. I do think things are on track, and we will be getting a beta and some official gameplay fairly soon. Allow me to explain why. Firstly, Andy McNamara, Director of Communications for EA, was asked on Twitter by Sylvester here when he thinks we'll be able to see full-blown multiplayer gameplay for 2042, saying, "It's hard convincing my friends to pre-order a game when there's only less than 2 minutes of gameplay footage a month and a half out from release." But Andy answered, saying, "I know when things happen, I just can't share yet. We have more coming on social and the open beta is in September. We did Exodus and Irish this month, plus a ton of story building. We are doing everything we can to keep the player community informed. Things just take time." So I interpret that tweet as something along the lines of, "Keep calm guys, we know what we're doing, just give us time." And I think that's good advice. Maybe some of us are getting, a little too worked up into a frenzy and unnecessarily worried. I think part of the reason for that is the constant teasing we've gotten used to from EA's marketing team, which apparently has been working a little too well. Hype for this game was already high when people got wind of it being a return to the modern theatre of war and the leaks and speculation that followed. Then when DICE and EA actually began their marketing campaign, it just blew off the roof completely. It all started with those little glitchy Twitter videos a few days before the official trailer dropped, and then after the official trailer dropped, we were given a date for the gameplay reveal. A few days after that, there was a Battlefield briefing with some of the developers, and then of course we got the World of 2042 lore series that gave us bite-sized info day by day for an entire week, eventually leading up to the Exodus short film reveal where we learnt about Irish. I think people have gotten so used to Battlefield dropping little tidbits almost every day that they could almost set their watch by it. I know I did. But the truth is that it's only been 1 week. 1 full week without a single bit of new Battlefield 2042 information, and I think all of those factors, along with Gamescom going on and the leaked gameplay being accessible all over the internet, has kind of made it feel like Battlefield's official channels have just gone radio silent. Now, while I do think it's partly our fault for mismanaging our expectations, and I will definitely take some responsibility there, I have made my fair share of speculation videos, some of them about Gamescom, and I'm sorry if anybody feels like I led them astray. That was certainly not my intention. But whilst DICE didn't actually say they would be at Gamescom and don't have to answer to anybody about when and where their marketing team releases content, would it have killed them to make a simple statement, something like, "We won't be at Gamescom this year, but we're excited to announce more soon"? Is this really clever marketing or just a lack of communication? That really went from good to worse if you look at the CTE initiative for Battlefield 4 and BF1 compared to the total botch up with the TTK changes that they introduced in BF5. They should have listened to their fans, and they didn't, and they really dug their own grave with that attitude. They knew they weren't going to have a showing at Gamescom, and they also knew that the internet was fully expecting it, so the only conclusion I can draw from that is that the marketing team decided that saying nothing was the best idea for the 2042 hype train to continue coasting along. Or maybe it was to help out Gamescom. I, for one, would not have watched as much of the show as I did had I known that Battlefield 2042 would not be present. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. As Mr. McNamara said, the beta is still on schedule for this September, and it's looking like the rumoured date of next weekend could fit the bill. The PlayStation game-sized Twitter account recently tweeted saying, "Battlefield fans, don't worry, if I find anything about the beta, I will publish it immediately." presumably because he was getting absolutely swamped with messages asking if he'd found anything. He then followed up on that tweet showing a name for a new posting on the PlayStation Store entitled Battlefield 2042 Beta Early Access PS4 and PS5, and then clarified below that, saying that the reason it only says PS4 and PS5 is because obviously this is the PlayStation version of the beta, but of course it will also be available on PC and the Xbox. So whilst it hasn't been officially announced yet, apparently PlayStation have started making moves to get it integrated into their store page so that we can download it, hopefully very soon. Like I said, the rumours from earlier on in August about it being the weekend of the 4th and 5th of September are looking more and more likely, and honestly, I think we might hear something from one of DICE's official channels early on this upcoming week. If we do hear anything, I will be sure to let you guys know what's up. I would love to hear your thoughts on Battlefield's absence from Gamescom, guys. How do you think they could have handled it? Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more Battlefield, and I'll see you in the next one.